back. In today's video we'll be reviewing an in-scale item. That's right, I don't review in-scale items too often, but today we're looking at the Kato Union Pacific FEF3 steam locomotive, the 2 water tenders, and the 7-car passenger set from Kato. Now these all have different MSRPs, and we'll cover more on the review. So without further ado, let's get started on the review of the Kato Union Pacific Steam Excursion Set. So as always in my video, I like to do unboxings. Here's the engine. We're going to go ahead and unbox this. Kato probably gets an A+ for presentation, and I'll explain why in a moment. But on the box you have the nice Union Pacific shield, some information on the back about the tenders in the passenger set, and it talks about the FEF3 and some details about that. Now the DCC equipped version is installed by Kato. A really hard-working guy up there by the name of Kelly installs, I'm pretty sure, all the DCC engines, all the DCC in the engines, so that you have DCC equipped out of the box. This is a TCS DCC decoder in here. First thing you'll notice is they have a coupler for the front here. It can replace the current one so that you can actually couple the front, or have a coupler in the front. Taking the engine out of the box and the plastic here, first thing that kind of sets off to me is that it has a nice gloss black finish. But the up close views will happen here in a moment, but I want to continue with the unboxings of the other items, because unboxing is usually my first step. I'm going to go ahead and unbox all 3. Second thing is the tenders. Jim Adams and Joe Jordan was the name on the tenders. And this is one of those kind of tight plastic, hard plastic shells. And then you have your tenders here under some bubble wrap. Trying to be very careful pulling these out. There's Jim Adams, the one with the flag, and Joe Jordan, the one without the flag. And seems pretty durable to me. And then here's where Kato really gets an A+ on their presentation. I'm going to go ahead and move these items to the side real quick. The Excursion Train Set. So as you can see, Kato logo up top, 7-car set, nice picture of the set, Union Pacific shield down here, a nice long description that if you want to pause the video you can read. I will put right there so you can pause the video and read if you'd like. In the essence of time though, we're going to go ahead and open this up. It's got a flap on the back. And one other thing before we get into the actual set is it talks about the contents on the back, which order they're supposed to run in, how the train consists should go, everything. So it has some Kato track options, installation of magnetic trip pins in the coupler. Let's go ahead and pop this open. We'll slide this out. There's my Train World receipts there. But there you have the set in its entirety. Got the nice observation car. It's under a thin sheet of plastic here. I'm going to go ahead and pull this sheet of plastic up, and that reveals the cars in the foam here nicely. I'm going to go ahead and start from the bottom, just pull the cars out one by one. Looks like the lid popped off there. It's easily put back on. You got the City of Portland. That first one was Kennefic, the business car. Portland Rose. Columbine. You've got the UP flag car, and we'll talk about this in more detail later. That's Promontory. Got Willie James. And you have power car number 207. So those are all the cars. That's the unboxing. Let's get on with the review. So let's go ahead and start with some details on this locomotive. We're going to go ahead and switch this over to the very front so you can see the front of the locomotive. Zoom in a little more here. You can see that the locomotive is equipped with the flying number boards that are accurate for the prototype, a nice golden metallic bell, a non-operational Mars light, an operational headlight, a lot of bolt detail, hinge detail around the smoke box door. As we work our way down, you've got the coupler cut lever on the front, and you also have just out of frame here the cow catcher with the dummy coupler that can be replaced for this smooth front on the cow catcher. And you've got the elephant ears here. You've got two smokestacks that do not have the ability to put out smoke. There's a solid surface down in each one of these smokestacks. You've got a lot of rivet detail along the top. As we turn around to the side, you should be able to catch in the video the fact that it's got a nice shiny appearance. A nice shiny surface is accurate for the prototype. I'm glad that Kato went through with this shiny surface versus the flat black or the matte black. You've got a nice white running board stripes, white wall tires, which are accurate for the most recent version of the 844. Got a lot of nice detail along the boiler here. You've got safety tread along the walkways. As we work our way back to the cab and the trailing trucks, you can see the little dynamo there. You've got the trailing trucks with the silver caps. You've got 844 nice and clear. You've got the cab, which the actual cab pops off here, and you can actually see a screw that allows you to access the locomotive to do maintenance or install DCC, things like that. And you've actually got some detail back here in the firebox area, and the area right here you can see a lot of detail as well. So I'm going to go ahead and place this back on this cab here, and you can look as we move back at the nice detail of the tender. Again, nice glossy black. You've got handrails. This is an oil tender, which is accurate for 844. A lot of silver caps on the wheels here. You've got a non-operational tail light, 844 printed on the back that's legible. The gallons capacity of the tender is on the back, which is legible. There's not a coupler cut lever on the back, but you can see some stairs, some ladder detail here, I mean. And some people have been asking about curves. This operates on the smallest of curves, and that is because they did a unique design on the underside to allow for curves. You've got three sections here in the front trucks, the lead trucks, the drivers, the trailing trucks. It allows for some curves, and then three sections that the tenders split into as well. The front area here, these wheels float independent of the actual wheelbase out here, and then these float independently as well, allowing it to navigate some nicely tight curves. So let's go ahead and move forward with some other details on the other cars. So let's talk about these tenders. These tenders have not been made in any scale correctly by a major manufacturer until Kato did them. And one thing I think they really caught on the tenders that's important is a three-dimensional flag detail. It's so easy for a manufacturer to simply decal on the flag versus making it a three-dimensional flag like is on the prototype, but Kato went ahead and took the extra steps to do that. You can add lighting kits to this tender to actually make that light up. You've got the other side same as the first. So that's the tender. That's all I'm going to say on that tender, but the other tender has a lot in common. Same overall shape, couple of variants. You can see the rivet detail they did really nicely. Nice silver trucks. They accurately produced Jim Adams and Joe Jordan, in my opinion, and I think it's an amazing job by Kato. You got the ladder detail along the edge with the lights. Just pretty amazing set. Next car, 207 is the power car. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit to get the big picture, and as you can see, these trucks are really free rolling because they're going everywhere. But a lot of nice detail on the power car. You've got the antenna dome up top. You've got the vents along the side, accurate for the prototype. All the correct roof detail that they could cram into an N-scale model. The windows on this side, nice silver trucks, nice detail on the bottom. And of course those pretty strong couplers from Kato. Willie James is another car. Now this is different in the fact that it has corrugated sides. Most of the UP cars have smooth sides, but that is actually correct for Willie James, the prototype. Again, a lot of nice detail along the side. You can tell they went into some detail with the generator, the fans, all the underbody detail, and it's just really nicely done. Here's the other side. Pretty impressed with this offering from Kato. Now to one of the most eye-popping cars. We got the flag car here. And I can't get anything to stop, so I'm going to put something under it here. So a flag car, nice flag detail, accurate colors, eye-popping blue, red, white, and blue for you folks that are American and know what order that goes in. It's been a long day. Now, one thing I will say about this car, and all American flags on transportation, with my military background, I think I've seen most of the videos have kind of gotten to my OCD side a little bit, because in the US flag code, you're supposed to, if you have a flag on a vehicle, the lead should always be the stars and stripes, or the stars, the Union field here, and the trailing should be the stripes. So stars in the front, trailing in the back. Now UP always does this, so this car always runs with this in the front because that's the stars, that's the trailing end. You run it backwards and you're violating the US flag code. I can't remember which code it is or exactly whatever, but I see almost every video on YouTube is running this car backwards. It's supposed to go this way in this direction. So just something to let you guys know. Now I will give you this caveat. UP sometimes, obviously their locomotives, they have the flags, and if they're running a locomotive backwards, which they do often, you're going to see a backwards flag. But other than that, you will never see a flag trailing UP backwards, unless the steam locomotives are going backwards to get in position or something. So anyway, that's just a kind of pet peeve of mine, being military in the past, that I've studied up on that stuff. So here is the dome car Columbine. Now another interesting thing about running the dome cars is even though there's more area here and shorter area here, the dome usually runs in this direction as well, going forward. So this is the front of the dome car. But anyway, nice detail. You see the window gaskets, nice silver pops out. Columbine's nice and clear. The actual car numbers printed on there. Again, decent underbody detail on this one. Let's look at the diaphragm detail. This is on all the cars, black diaphragms, nice detail on the ends. So I think they did a really good job in that sense. Next one up, Portland Rose. More of the same as far as the cars goes. One thing you will notice here is that this area here is vented out, or is blocked out, and that's accurate for the prototype too, but I do not recall what is in there. It's something in the interior, maybe a restroom or something. I don't recall. City of Portland, another dome car. More of the same as far as which way to run it. There's the other side. Just showing you guys quick details in the essence of time. And the last car, which we will talk about a little longer than most cars, is Kenefic, which is a business car. This is usually where all the big wigs hang out on trips. You got a lot of nice detail on this car. You've got this headlight dome, you've got antennas, you have the in detail, which this is just amazing. So let's talk about the in detail. The two top lights you see there, those are located, let's see if I can get refocused. Two top lights, those are lit. They do have track power. If the track power isn't perfect, they will kind of flash, as in they don't have a capacitor in there to keep them steady, but it's nice that they took that opportunity to light that. These two are lit on the prototype, but I don't see any way in engineering hell that they could possibly make these lit. I just don't see it being possible, so these are dummy lit. And that's nothing against the manufacturer, that's just be way too much work if it's even possible at all. Nice detail along the side of the car. I mean, just amazingly done. Something I wish they would do in HO scale. On this side, you've got the silver painted door. And again, a lot of underbody detail packed in. So that covers all the cars. Let's get into operation. So I'm going to bring the locomotive around the bend, and you can see for yourself how nicely the headlight is lit. It's very prototypical. It has that nice golden white. It's one of the most prototypical headlights I've ever seen. So I think they did a good job there. But before we get too out of control, I want to stop the locomotive and actually test the motor control. So I'm going to go to 1 speed step. There's 1. It's moving along pretty smoothly and it's pretty quiet. One thing you also may have noticed is on each side of the headlight, the 844 number boards are lit along the side of the headlight, not the flying number boards, the ones along the side of the headlight. Mars light does not appear to be lit, but I'm going to go ahead and move things up to 2 speed steps here. That clicking you're hearing was me checking out to see if the Mars light was lit. Got to go up to 4 speed steps. This pulls the entire consist nice and smoothly at low speeds. Now that the consist is going by once, let's go ahead and crank her up a little bit. This is 50 speed steps here. (105 speed steps). And the full 126 speed steps. Now let's go in reverse and see how it handles the reverse. Just a few speed steps here. We're going 2. It's pushing the entire consist backwards. No problem. Everything is staying on the rails. No derailment problems as of yet, even on this tight radius. I believe this is the smallest radius you can buy, but I will provide the radius stats after a bit. After this run by, we will switch directions and I will show you the lit tail lights on the business car. And then we'll do a run by from a different angle and wrap the review up. As I bring the consist by this way, you'll be able to see the business car's tail lights. Now, just in case you can't tell, I'll show you a closer version. So here's a close-up of the business car. I'm going to block some light so you can see those tail lights are lit. They are flickering with some voltage inconsistencies, I believe, from the system, and they do flicker with some track voltage inconsistencies, so they don't have a constant lighting circuit in there. But it's pretty cool that Kato went the extra step and lit this rear lights on this business car. Now I'm going to go by with the final run by of this set at a slow but steady speed, so you can see the set in passing one more time. Well, that wraps up the review of the Kato 844, the 2 water tenders, and the passenger set. I know this isn't as detailed as my normal reviews. You got to take into consideration there's a lot more stuff to cover. We're reviewing an entire set. But this is an amazing set. I think Kato did a great job, from the lighting of the observation car, the smooth operation, the details that they went into, even though N-Scale can sometimes skimp out on details because they can use the excuse that things are too small, and it's an actual valid excuse. Kato went ahead and took those extra steps and made this a very nice set. So I'm pretty impressed, and for the MSRP, I think you could find some great deals, discounts available. I personally purchased this set from trainworld.com. You can check them out. Last I checked, they still had the whole set in stock. You've got the DCC version, which is this one. You've got your DC version, and I hear rumors that maybe one day they'll have a sound decoder to drop in if they don't have some sound decoders already out, or some sound decoder equipped versions maybe later on the line. That's just speculation on my part, but an amazing set either way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.